Morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
This week's parsha is Parshas Pinchas, and this parsha starts off Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. This is a continuation from last week's parsha. That Pinchas went and he saw something that was wrong, and he stood up for the law. He stood up for what's right, and he put his foot down and he took care of the situation. So the Torah says Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. We're not just telling you who he is. We're telling you who his father is, who his Zayda is. We're going to tell you what he ate for breakfast and for lunch. No. But the idea is it's telling you the whole history of Pinchas. So it's explained the reason why he said that. So Rashi says it because people came to say, whoa, this guy is very extreme. He went out there and he did something like that. That takes a lot of guts. That takes a personality. That takes some extreme feelings. So perhaps this is coming from his mother's side. That from his mother's side, he came from Yisroi.
Yes.
And Yisroi was also the father-in-law of Moshe Rabbeinu. He was a priest before he converted, according to most opinions that he converted eventually. But he was a priest, and he tried every type of idol worship in the world. And one of them, and a lot of them, you have to offer sacrifices. So what he used to do is to stuff the animals with food, which is a force feed, and even if which that in itself is pretty vicious, but even if not, it's vicious because you're feeding the animal in order to kill it. So you're doing a chesed, but it's really not a chesed because eventually you're only doing it for yourself. So it's like a self-serving purpose. So the Torah says, wait a second, slow down. Pinchas, you should know, is ben Elazar. He's the son of Elazar and the son of Aaron. That's what we see. We see the positive in him. It has nothing to do with another side, with something else. This is a very important lesson for us, that when we're looking at somebody else, be very careful not to judge somebody else. Even if you have somebody that did something, and perhaps you could figure out why he did it, and he's doing it from a negative reason, and it's this and it's that, and don't give him the credit, because really, we don't know. We don't have Ruach HaKodesh. We can't see what's in the person's heart. We don't know where it's really coming from. You may try, you think you could discern, and so on and so forth, but at the end of the day, we don't know. And you got to give the other person the benefit of the doubt. That's number one. Number two, let's even say that you're right, and he's doing something right, but he's doing it from a wrong place, from a wrong perspective. Who says that we're perfect? Who says we have to start doing something from the right place? You have to start doing it. And slowly you get there. Like a child, the Rambam says that for a child, you start off with candies, with sweets. Right? But eventually, the child gets used to and educated, and eventually we do it because it's right. So we all started from there. Some of us are still holding there. We're still doing it for treats, a different type of treats. But this is something that, who are we to judge? If the guy's doing what's right, let him do what's right. Number three is, if it bothers you, perhaps it's something that's bothering you, and that's why it bothers you. It's something that's a threat for you, and sometimes either we cannot justify why that person is doing more than what we are doing, or something is there, something that maybe you have a weakness, and that's why it bothers you to it. So perhaps you have to look inside to yourself and see what's really going on. Why is this really bothering me? It shouldn't be bothering you. Okay? So there are many levels that we can try to work on this in our own way. But the idea is that when we see somebody doing something good, judge them for the good, and try to see the positive of it, and try to see how you can learn. It says, in general, we're not supposed to be jealous. When it comes to Torah, you're allowed to be jealous. You know why? Because you could do something about it. You could actually learn. You gotta see the other person learning, you can learn. So that's a place where jealousy helps, because you will gain something out of it. Everything else, there's no reason to be jealous. That's his. What's yours is yours. But Torah, everybody has the opportunity, and everybody has the blessing that if they will try, they will succeed. So Hashem should help. We should be able to see everybody with a good eye, and we should make our investment, and we should be zoichet to the coming of Mashiach, to the kingdom of Amen.
Amen.